Welcome everybody to Gentleman's Guide to Gaming and another session of Call of Cthulhu. Yes, twice in 2 weeks. We were just marveling about that ourselves. Now, it would be remiss of me to not do some self-promotion at the beginning. These wonderful players have paid for the privilege. Of course, I play with them anyway, but they are all backers of my Patreon, very generous, supporting me, making these videos, doing all the other lovely things that I am able to do. And certainly, if it's something you want to get in on, the link to the Patreon is in the description below, so there's always room for more games. But with that said, my 3 players, they've already done their sound tests. We should have no echo, no reverb this time around. Therefore, unless I suddenly start sounding like Darth Vader, and I rely on my players to tell me if I do, and I don't think I will based on the current setup, I think we shall go. We'll do a bit of a recap, however, just to ascertain where each of our characters happens to be. So I believe that Captain Trent and Mr. Jack North are currently in the kitchens, or no, the main hall of the house, because the professor, the doctor, Vanderberg, had just returned from dropping off a very friendly, completely non-suspicious maid at the train station in the nearby town, after she was very shaken with current events and revealed some of the goings-on of the Golden Generation group that frequents this mansion. Does anyone have anything to add about that? Out of character, let's do a little bit of a discussion. What are the players' thoughts about what's going on so far?
I suspicious the servants are actually the antagonist, and that the senile rich people are just senile rich people. But that's just because I, David, am genre savvy. My character just wants to leave and survive, so we'll see if he succeeds.
As far as theories myself, I don't know, anything can happen. I suspect that if we get to where the green trees are, we'll find some very unspeakable things. And I don't mean drugs. I mean really unspeakable things. And I don't know, maybe the servants are involved, maybe they're just victims. I don't know. At this point, anything can happen.
I think the green trees are behind all of this. The couple that owns the house. And if I am expecting a surprise, I'm expecting it from the father of the bride.
So we have a nice range of theories from the players there about what the truth is and what's going on. The hour is now around 2 a.m. The party has pretty much died down. There's some people that are drinking. A few people have left at this point, despite all requests to the contrary. The deputy still hasn't shown up. It's likely they'll probably wait until the morning now. But what are our characters doing? They've just reconvened in the main hall of the Green Trees mansion. There's still a good, you would estimate, between 50 and 80 guests milling around. People don't seem to be inclined to sleep, probably because they were intending on driving home the same night, some of them. And the Green Trees are still nowhere to be seen.
At this point, while we're in the hall, we're all together right now. Okay.
Yes, you are indeed.
So I come to them and I say, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not sure it's what I expected. This goes beyond a murder. We almost got killed, and I look to the doctor. We almost got killed by poison gas. And we saw hallucinations again. This time, he saw them. It's not just me, right?
So, something to do with the gas. It made me think a painting was moving. I saw it.
Hallucinations again. It must be some very dangerous game of the owners of the mansion.
Whatever is going on here is too much. They try to kill us, poison us, whatever they are doing. These people are not going to play by the book. The police is not coming. They're not gonna play nice. They're gonna play dirty and they're gonna try to harm us if we're not careful.
How do you know that, Captain?
Because I've been poisoned twice already tonight. Is that not enough?
Yeah. Hey, you're the one in charge of security here, Captain, and you're the brains doctor, but I think now that we've got all three of us, we could probably go further in the servants' quarters and maybe make it all the way up to the owner's room. What do you think?
What did you find so far? What was the rest of the story?
Do you tell him about that horrid room, or I do?
I can say we were making our way through the servants' quarters, and we came across a door that the captain had previously seen. And so we went to open it, and inside was a room with a table, 3 chairs, some holes that looked like they might have been drains, and then a painting on the wall of a king, but it was weird. His eyes were messed up, and he wasn't the right color. And when we went in and tried to leave, the door closed automatically, like some of those scary horror story books. And something, like, we didn't realize it at the time, but something started filling the room. Like you said, probably some gas. Because me and him had to work together to get that door open. And when I turned around, the painting was moving towards us. And we managed to make out. And then we decided, yes, there was more to the servants' quarters. Like, we could have went going, but the wise thing to do was to try to wait for you so that we could regroup. And now we're here.
How about engaging the green trees about this?
If we can find them, I should probably see if one of the guards has brought 1 or 2 firearms. I haven't brought mine. I'm a foreigner in this country. I cannot bring one, but I don't know. The Americans seem to be a bunch of cowboys, always with their pistols around. Maybe I can ask the head of the Green Tree Security, maybe offer him to leave if he finds a weapon for us, or a couple of handguns, whatever. Because we're gonna have to play rough with these people, because they might be after us. They don't play by the rules. They have no concerns about the law. So, I don't know. Maybe I should give it a shot.
Have they been hosting any other parties recently? Because if they host one of these every weekend, then there must be a lot of poisoned and delirious people propping up.
That could attack us, yes.
I mean,
ideally, we should try not to kill anybody. I could try to disable them first. But if they have weapons and we don't, then that's a problem.
It's your call, Captain.
Well, I'll see about that. If you want to prepare something before we head on, this is I don't know. This is gonna be a hell of a confrontation. Might get bad. So if you want to prepare in any way, also you have the book, right?
I do. Yes.
Be careful. It's probably poison. So be careful how you handle that thing.
Definitely.
I'm going to see if I can find their head of security to ask him about some extra firepower.
I'll come with you. I've got a way with words. Maybe I can convince them to hand over a weapon to a fellow soldier.
Okay. Let's go.
I'll tag along as well.
Okay. The last time you saw their head of security, he was manning the front gate, or more or less waiting for enough people to leave to justify his own departure. It's been at least an hour or two since you last saw him, and he isn't there. A few cars have left the drive, although him being a servant, he probably would have parked to the rear of the house.
Maybe go a quick run around the house, see if his car is around or if he's around there.
You do spot him. He is in the servants' car park. He's actually holding one of the waiting staff up by the collar. He is lifting him fully off the ground and slaps him across the face. And says, "You watch what you say now," and throws him onto the gravel.
Okay, so I approach and I say, everything okay here?
Yes, sir. No trouble at all, sir. He gives you a mock salute.
Okay, good.
Just straightening out the lower ranks. You know how it is.
I suppose. Never had to resort to that myself, but anyway, look, this might sound strange, but this night is very strange. Do you or any of your security happen to have any firearms with you? If you would care to give me access to that, frankly, I wouldn't mind if you leave just right now.
You want a gun? What are you going to be doing with a gun now, sir?
Well, I feel a bit threatened tonight. I feel, how to put it, fragile. I want to be prepared because, to be honest, well, I'll just be straight with you. I've been poisoned twice tonight. I don't know if you have any idea of what's going on here, but I think someone might want to, well, kill me.
What could you have possibly done to warrant that? Either way, doesn't matter. The green trees are quite particular. None of the serving staff are permitted to have firearms, and indeed the same goes to the majority of security. I have my own firearm because, frankly, once you've served, it's very difficult to be without one. But I'm not just going to hand it over.
I see. Maybe we could compensate you for the loss of your goods.
Oh, compensate.
Hey fella, I've got a little scratch. You're wanting to leave. He's the guy that can let you leave, and you've got what he needs. How about we do a little trade here?
He's not going to stop me from leaving if I want to. I'm not staying here because of his permission or lack of it.
I know, but we could all be civil. We can all help each other out. Can I make a fast talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can make a fast talk roll, and you can just give a bit of an explanation for why you think it might affect him if you succeed.
Okay. I rolled a 21. I have a fast talk of 90. And so I'm thinking he already has 1 foot out the door. I'm not even convincing him really to do anything different other than dropping his gun. And so I'm just doing the con of, it's what you wanted to do. You wanted to do this. And handing over the gun, and I give you the cash I've got in my pocket, minor inconvenience. Otherwise, it's what you were going to do anyways.
See, it would have required a hard roll to get him to give up his own weapon and not just point you in the direction of the owner's gun cabinet. But as you have you almost succeeded on an extreme roll. Yeah, all right then. Come over here.
No, I come over.
He pops the trunk and points down. That rifle's been with me since the old king died. And I've got a handgun up front. But I do expect compensation. Yes, I am going to be leaving. I'm going to be leaving a lot quicker now if guns are going to start firing. And you got to understand, the only reason I've been sticking around is to make sure my men are out of here. You understand that, don't you, sir? He looks over at Captain Trent.
Yes, I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna start leaving soon, but I don't think we can keep them around anyway.
Well,
It's
what
not
you
like
should know is, at present, and no one in the house knows this, and I'm very sorry to let you down on this, sir, that Miss Harmon's body is currently unattended out in the woods, as her security detail has left. And let's call it $200, and I'll give you the handgun.
Hey, what's a reasonable amount of money for me to have at credit 40?
You could stretch to that, but it would probably be you'd be struggling to pay your rent next month.
and if we all would have
Yeah, you can all chip in. You can all.
How about credit 60?
Credit 60?
Ooh.
Yes, the photographer backs off and says, "Wait." Yeah, you're able to furnish him with enough ready cash and promises of credit in future. He gives you a drop point for further finance, and actually, threateningly, points at you and says, "Don't think you can bilk me out of my weapons or out of the money that's owed to me. I've come after bigger fish than you before who have tried to diddle me." But yeah.
Sherry, if you allow me, please don't be so upset. I think you should feel a little bit responsible about the fact that people are getting poisoned and killed in the mansion where you are the head of security.
I have to step away for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Don't be too harsh on him. He might as well be just a victim as us. These green trees, they don't seem to treat their own staff very well.
It's not the green trees that are the problem. Everything was lovely and harmonious here until the Harmons came along.
Well, thank you for letting us know.
How so? How did they change things?
That's rather peculiar.
Well, no one was dying here until Delia Harmon wanted to get married to Elgin Burroughs.
I see this situation overwhelms us all. But thank you for the weapons. They might save our lives.
The weapon, you get my revolver.
Okay.
I'm keeping the rifle. I served with that. I'm sure you understand, sir.
I understand.
All right.
Out of character question. So we lost completely the weapon cabinet thing.
Yeah, he didn't tell you anything about the weapon cabinet.
Okay. Good.
I mean, if you happen to do a search of the house anyway, you will probably. It would occur to you, I don't need to make you roll for it, that a house in the countryside like this would probably have shotguns and rifles somewhere. You just haven't found them.
Okay, so we could attempt a little quick search.
Yeah.
If we find something, we find it. If we don't, we know.
Exactly. The question is whether it's in the house or whether it's in some kind of gamekeeper's hut out in the woods, or how long you want to spend looking for it. He gives you the revolver. He's kept it in fine working order, as you would expect. He gives you a small pouch full of ammunition. It's obviously single shot loaded. And he...
I'm assuming it's probably 38 caliber 6 shots.
Yeah, very traditional for the time.
Yeah.
Although you would imagine that would have been an officer's weapon, and he told you he wasn't an officer, so who he got this off of, you don't know. But he gives you a little more of a serious salute this time. He says, "I wish you all the very best. I suspect things are going to get worse before the dawn."
Okay. I shake his hand firmly. Thank you. I
"You owe me
appreciate it."
money," he says, and smiles, and then he heads to his car.
Well, all right, there's that. So there might be more weapons around the house, but we shouldn't waste too much time looking for them. So I look to. Oh, David's. It's not here at the moment.
You look to the empty space.
What is the name of the photographer? I forgot. Sorry.
Jack or North.
Jack. Well, he had a chance to go around the house, perhaps knows the grounds better. So I asked him. Now we're returning. Did you happen to see any outside building that might have firearms in them?
Jack, who has just returned, does tell you that yes, there was a gamekeeper's lodge out in the woods, although he wasn't given entry when he was doing his tour of the grounds and taking photos and the like.
Is it too far?
No, everything's fairly local. It would probably take you about 20 minutes at max to get out there and back. Obviously, it's in the woods because you might go hunting from it, but you could make it if you took some torches. Of course, you would be going out in the woods at around 2 a.m.
Yes, we need light.
Yeah. It's also getting damn cold.
Any of you have a light in your cars, in your trunks, perhaps?
I'm going to say you do as a matter of course.
Okay, good. So, well, let's make a quick run for it. Let's not waste too much time, and let's see if we can find anything. I don't know if you agree.
Is everyone heading out to the woods, or?
Yes, I wanted to address the other two and maybe ask them, has anybody seen the colonel?
Well, we left him in the library, right?
Yeah, not for a while.
Well, we should check up on him. Let's make sure he's all right.
That's what I'm feeling as well. And maybe we should check up on his daughter. I don't know, this guy insinuated that her body was left unattended. The police is not here yet.
Don't we have to kind of go in that direction?
Yeah, you'll be going via the lake to get to the gamekeeper's lodge.
Okay.
We can use my car.
No, you can't use the car. There's all through the woods without any kind of driving track.
Yeah.
So first we head in the direction of the body, right?
Okay. So as before, you head towards the lake, and rather unceremoniously, Delia Harmon's body has been left. It's been moved slightly away from the rocks, and so the lake edge, and so it's a bit deeper into the forest. It hasn't been dragged, by wolves or anything. It's just been moved slightly out of sight. That's about as much as the security team were prepared to do to make her safe, as well as her body has now been pretty much completely swaddled. It's completely clothed up in about 4 coats that have been wrapped around her. Especially Jack, you're familiar with organized crime through the news, and if you were of a more morbid disposition, and perhaps you are, this is almost how someone would be swaddled up with bits of twine before being thrown in the water. But it doesn't appear anyone has attempted that. Either way, Delia Harmon is still dead.
Thankfully.
For now.
Okay. I ask, should we do something about it? Or, I don't know.
Should we search her?
There could be animals. I wouldn't want her to be choked up by wolves in the middle of the night. After all, she is the daughter of my friend.
Let's recover here to the house.
Okay, how long would it take us to do that?
You could get back to the house in about 5. Well, actually, you're carrying a body. It will take you about 10 minutes. So between two of you, that'll take you 10 minutes. Another one of you could go on alone to the gamekeeper's lodge and pick up the guns. So, you can always split up.
Okay. I have the revolver, so if there are any wolves in the woods, perhaps it would be better if I go check on the cabin. If you could take
That's
the body
fair.
back.
Me and the doctor can carry one not moving woman.
Okay. So as the two of you rather, again, unceremoniously pick up the body, which is now stiffening, of Delia Harmon, in a way it makes it easier to carry. Our good friend Captain Trent makes his way deeper into the woods. Captain, I'd like you to do a spot hidden roll because this is Call of Cthulhu.
Very well. Okay, character sheet. Spot hidden. It's a 25. Okay.
Remember, you can use your luck or you can push your roll. So if you fail, you can always roll again, but if you fail that one, it's an exceptional failure.
Yeah, it's 34.
34. So yeah, you only need to spend 9 luck to get it down to 25.
I do have 9 luck, and I will use it.
Okay. In that case, despite the fact you have never been out here before, other than you've never been this deep into the woods, I should say, you are able to see the glow of light in the distance, which you assume is from the gamekeeper's lodge. Although why someone would be out there this late, you're not sure.
Okay, so I approach cautiously because there's someone there, and well, I get near the cabin, try to see through the windows.
You can see through the windows, and you can see that Elgin Burrows is in the gamekeeper's lodge. He has a tall bottle of port next to him. His bow tie is loose and hanging from his collar, and he has a gun in his hand.
What kind of gun?
He is also holding a revolver.
I see. Okay, I get it. He might be trying to just maybe he's considering to kill himself with steel arms, so it's potentially dangerous for me. So I ready my revolver, put it behind me, not showing in a threatening way, and knock on the door.
You hear a go away.
I check to see if the door is locked.
Doesn't seem to be, no.
I open the door slow enough not to startle him.
Sensible.
And I say,
do you lead in with the revolver, or are you keeping
no,
that?
I keep it behind myself.
Okay. He doesn't lift the gun in your direction, but he is looking at you. And you don't think he's drunk as much as very tired. He's probably well on his way to having a very bad headache, one way or another.
I hope you're not doing what it seems like you're about to do.
You were the head of security, weren't you?
Well,
Why am I blaming myself when it's your fault?
Well, I could try to defend myself against that statement. Say that I was poisoned at the time, but well, whoever did this got the better of me. They fucked us all real good. I lost a very good friend because of this. He's not going to forgive me for not being able to look after his daughter.
Oh, don't
So-
worry, my friend. I don't think I will be forgiven either.
Just how the night it is. It's just terrible on all of us.
I would truly appreciate being alone right now. I've got an appointment to make. He holds up the gun in one hand, grabs the bottle of port with the other. One way or another, I'm going to be asleep before the sun comes up. I've just got to find out if I've got the stones. It's always seems a lot easier than it is, ending it all. She managed it, I guess.
You're saying she killed herself?
No. I don't know what I'm saying. Bitch. Getting out of it. Denying me what I was due. She did it to spite me. I'm sure she did it to spite me. She got herself killed to spite me. Don't know how. She always called me weak. If it was her in here right now with me, I'd probably fall to my knees and ask her why. Oh, I thought we had such a future ahead. Golden generation. He holds up the bottle of port again. So much for that. Green trees are very unhappy. This isn't what they planned at all. And of course I'll get the blame. Yes, you're going to have to deal with grumpy old daddy. But he'll probably just drink himself into an early grave. Well, not so early. He's getting on a bit. Me, though. Repercussions for me are far worse. I should have kept an eye on her. She always was a firecracker.
You think they might try to kill you, harm you?
Oh no, you're far worse than that. I'll be ostracized. I'll be a persona non grata in high society. I'll be nothing. Got no money to my name. I've got about enough debts to bankrupt a small country. She was my meal ticket. I loved her, don't get me wrong, but she was my gateway to a fatter bank account. Her father's fat bank account. Well, that's all been shot to sunshine, hasn't it?
Well, there's nothing I can say, I don't know, to try to dissuade you.
Well,
I just think, yes, at this point, everything must seem like there's no way out of this, but you can always do it later.
oh, the repercussions will be bad.
You have the rest of your life to.
Oh, my life will not be as I currently know it, my friend. It will be far, far worse for letting them down. Your best bet is to get out of here now. Don't look back. Leave us to our own misery. The police will arrive at some point, I'm sure. And who knows, maybe we'll make a better front page story to say that a bride and groom to be both expired the night before the wedding. Last night of freedom.
Okay. Out of character. do I see any weapons around other than the one he's holding?
Oh yeah, there's a few weapons, in fact, or a few is an understatement. This is a very wealthy family's hunting lodge, so you've got probably a good 10 or more shotguns and rifles, depending on what they're hunting for in any given season.
Any shotguns? Any pump action?
No, not at this time.
Yeah, they are just double barrel.
They are farmers' shotguns for taking down pheasants, if you like.
Yeah, probably the kind of ammo is also. And rifles, other handguns.
Yeah, they're hunting rifles for deer. So long, very long rifles, but in a pinch.
Yeah, that's. No, I should take a couple of. No, I'm not taking anything right now, but okay. I see. I take a look. He probably sees me taking a look on it, and I say to him, "Oh yes, I know my way around firearms. Listen, you don't mind if I take a couple of these?
Oh,
I mean, the night is very rough on all of us.
Feel free to do what you like at this point. Honestly, I've never had a taste for hunting. Don't like the blood.
Very well.
Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes you have to take part in the hunt to show that you're a man.
I see. Well, I put the revolver in my pocket in a way that he cannot notice it, or not to make it obvious to him in any way. And I just grab a couple of shotguns and stuff my coat pockets with some shells.
Yeah.
I suppose they're hunting shells, but they're still gonna be effective against people. So anyway, and I just leave him to his devices.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the house, where exactly are you planning on dropping her off?
Is there anything like a cabinet, a gardener's cabinet?
Like God, I thought you were thinking like a trophy cabinet. Yeah, you can. That'll certainly spark the party up a little. Yes, there's a gardener's shed. You could put her in the shed.
Okay.
I guess there would also be an ice room. So that would generally be outside the house, an ice room for the kitchens.
What do you think, Mr. Jack? Why should we live here?
I imagine at 2:30 in the morning we don't see any gardeners about. Session 1 reference ignored. Matthew, is there anybody still working in the kitchen? Because I don't want to give them an unpleasant surprise.
I agree.
I'm going to say no. The kitchen is empty when you arrive, and nothing is being boiled, cooked, or similar.
Okay, so for now, let's put her in the ice house. It'll help keep the body for when the police get here in the morning. But if the police aren't here by the morning, we gotta move her.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay. As you exit the ice house, do a listen roll. In fact, as you're opening the door and placing her body in there.
Failed.
Okay. What about the doctor?
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. $38 is my roll. My listen. Is 20. I failed.
Okay. So as you exit the ice house and close the door behind you, you didn't hear walking up to it the butler. The butler being Mr. Evans, who you did encounter earlier on. What are you two doing in the ice house?
Sir, we are trying to preserve the body of a young lady who died.
We were asked by both the house security and the wedding security head to take care of it.
Well, I, the keeper, was expecting you to bluff there, so thinking about what would be the natural reaction to that. I guess it would actually be very well. That makes perfect sense to me. The ice house would seem to be the best place to keep the poor lady. I will ensure that no staff come this way.
Fantastic.
Sir, have you seen your masters tonight?
They departed after the sad news. It could be that they're in mourning.
Mhm. Any news from the police? Any phone call?
I'm sure you understand.
Okay. In that
Well,
case, I think we should go and see her father.
Judge Harmon,
Is he still in the library?
the last time I saw Mr. Judge Harmon, sir, he was indeed in the library. I decided not to disturb him as he was quite inebriated and also mourning his daughter's death. I merely closed the door so that no one else would disturb him.
We understand.
Do you want me to wait out?
I would suggest, sirs, that you leave him to his mourning. He may have quite the temper.
Oh, don't worry about it. I know just the medicine for that. Don't you mind.
Oh, very good. He turns on his heel and leaves.
Should we wait for the captain?
Yeah, let's give the captain 10-15 minutes to get caught up to us. I don't want to be divided for too long.
I agree.
Okay, as the captain gets back to you, you hear something. In fact, you hear two things. This scenario, out of character, is on a bit of a timer. Yeah, the closer we get to dawn, certain things will keep happening. And at this point, something has happened. Some things have happened. As you all reunite, you hear a loud bang from inside the house. And as if in response, you hear a loud bang from out in the woods. There's a sudden flurry of activity, of gasps, of shouts of guests and the remaining staff who haven't fled the scene. Definitely gunfire, but two different locations. Captain, you're the one most familiar with these things. Do a listen roll.
Okay. Two.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get, almost, anyway. So with a roll of 2, you can almost directly pinpoint with your military hearing abilities where the gunfire within the house came from. You would say it was on the first floor.
Where the library is located.
Mm-hmm. Also where that room you entered was located.
Well, I'm worried about my friend, so maybe we should. Well, I instinctively will try to go to the library.
And the
I
other
don't know
two
if
of you?
the other two
Right.
will follow me. I'm just going like on my own.
No, we'll follow you. Are you carrying shotguns?
Yes, we'll get. I have like 2 shotguns on my back. With
Okay.
straps. And yeah, we'll talk about that later. I've managed to find some firepower, as you can see.
Sure. We'll follow you.
Yep, following you.
Okay. What could the gunfight out in the woods be? Doesn't matter. You run up the main staircase. You head in the direction of the library. You are charging your way there. And you're not the only ones. It looks like some others within the house had heard the noise because stood in the doorway of the library. There's a couple of there's a maid, there's a servant. Oh God! And it appears that Judge Harmon has, from his seat, pointed his own gun at Mr. Clive Greentrees and shot him clean through the abdomen. And he is sat there by the doorway, legs akimbo, screaming in pain.
I rushed to assist the victim with first aid.
Okay, go for it. Make a roll. See what you can determine.
Okay, my roll is 24. Pretty sure I'm good for that. Yeah, my first aid is 60.
Okay, in that case, you can detect the immediate odor of a bullet that has perforated someone's internal organs, probably his bowel, his colon. It doesn't stay hidden for long, that kind of odor. The good thing is you can also immediately see that the bullet went straight through him. So that's, good in a sense.
Yes.
Better than it rattling around in there. He is screaming, kicking, very much Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs right now, except considerably plumper and more pasty. Judge Harmon doesn't look at all guilty over what he's done. He's just there. He's holding the gun, which might as well be smoking. And as the three of you have arrived, he says, "Captain, we can't let these monsters do this anymore. We can't."
Captain, get a hand of the colonel. I don't think he's all right.
I cannot do this to the doctor. Just
Call his
walks
damn sister
slowly.
down here, sister or wife or whatever the hell she is, and I'll put a bullet in her as well. You killed my daughter. And I will kill both of you. All I need is the strength to stand on my two legs. And he tries to stand up, but his legs wobble. The alcohol has clearly hit his kidneys.
I work slowly towards him. Don't worry, we're gonna take. I am gonna take care of it. You should stay here. You should know when is the time to fight and when is not the time. Let me take care of it. Would you?
Let you take care of it after you let my daughter die. Well, he looks at the gun in a way that is very unsafe. Well, I guess I ain't shooting straight tonight. He puts the gun in your hand, clasps your fingers over it. I need to be sick. He turns the other way politely and throws up on the floor.
I tend to the victim. Can I help him bandage his wound?
Yeah, you can bandage it as much as you can. I mean, you'll stop the blood from exiting his body, but certainly it's the wound is, as it's gone straight through, deep and messy. He definitely needs to get to a hospital quickly.
Okay. The colonel is in the library. The wounded person is in the library too, or in the hallway?
Yep, he is also in the
In
library.
the library. Okay, I go to the doctor. Can we get him out of here?
Yes.
Okay, as the take him away. I look at the colonel. He's just
No,
sitting there.
no. He's obviously lots of screaming and yelling as you
He's
try
not
to
gonna
pick
make
up
it.
the man with
Don't
the gun.
worry. He's not gonna make it. We should take him away. And if he does make it, I'll
Hey,
finish him.
Captain, this might be our chance to get up to the Green Tree's quarters.
Indeed.
Clive Greentrees is screaming at you. No, you will not take me downstairs. You will take me upstairs. Between screams of pain.
And I
You-
approach him. I tell him, why? What is upstairs?
My sister can treat me. She's a doctor. Ah, God. This pain. Take me.
I
take me-
try to extort more information from him.
That might get us in.
Yes, that might. Okay, that will get us in, but well, you're saying not to try to push it.
I'm just saying, if we go along with his idea, that gets us into their quarters.
Yes.
Let's help him.
We'll take him
after.
personally. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll take him there personally. Okay.
Okay.
Let's take him
Where's
ourselves.
Where's my private security? They should be doing this. Oh, God.
I'm gonna try to scare him a bit, like
Okay.
make him think we're his only chance that he's gonna make it. I'm gonna roll for intimidate. I put something in there. It's not a strong. Okay, let's just make it. I'm gonna try and intimidate.
There's This is going to be a hard roll, by the way, because you are basically combating his impulse to scream and fight based on the pain in his stomach.
What?
Do you want me to try to
I
calm
got-
him down? Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what do you say?
What did you roll?
Do you want me to try to calm him down, or what did you roll?
I'm gonna use. I have 65. Hard is 32.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use 2 luck. 2 luck
Okay.
to succeed.
He looks at you with clenched teeth and says, "Do it then. Do it. 3rd floor. Room with the red door."
All right, here we go. And
He
by the way,
screams
he screams at us. Okay.
with every step, basically.
Okay, so we take him. We carry him between the 3 of us.
I'll do one arm,
Okay.
you do one arm. The doctor's behind to steady him.
Okay, so and I have a couple of shotguns on my back.
Yeah. His legs appear to be working, so I mean, thank heavens it hasn't gone through his spine.
Okay. Yeah, I have 2 shotguns and 2 handguns with me at the moment. Okay, so we're taking him. So we get to the door.
As you're carrying him up, he looks to you, Captain, and says, "My sister will only let you in if you bring one of the staff as well. Any one of them, preferably male."
I look at my 2 partners.
I ran off to get one of the staff because I'm not carrying the body. Do I find anybody close?
Oh, so everyone's very, very quick to go find. Okay, you go find someone.
Indeed.
Okay, the doctor bounds down the stairs until he finds a member of staff. He finds a young, serving young man, bellboy, bellhop, as it were, with a tray, and you grab him by the arm. You do tell him where he's going.
Yep. Sir, you have to follow me. Like, your master had an injury. We need to contact your mistress, and please follow me. We need you.
No. I'm not going. I'm not going to see the master or the mistress. I'm working well tonight.
Just to get through the door. We need to get through the door. You can be on your way afterwards.
He looks terrified at the prospect. Could you do a persuade roll or fast talk?
I'll try to do a fast talk. I rolled a 13. I'm not sure
Oh,
this is
wow.
correct.
Yeah. Fine. If it's just to get in the door, but then I'm coming straight back downstairs.
Okay. We're hasting there.
Okay. You make your way back up to the third floor, where the other two are waiting outside the red room with Clive, and he looks the waiter up and down, as he'll do. Sister, we are without, and we have a young man here who will help us. The door is opened, and to your surprise, the Rebecca Greentrees opens it wearing a long amber gown. It's not studded with jewels. It seems to be, as her clothes were earlier, rather it's got loads of tatty holes, like it's moth-eaten, and she has a mask over the top half of her face. It's like half a sun mask. Please come in. Oh, my poor brother, please come in. Come in. The room itself is very disturbing. It has what is clearly an altar in the middle. I mean, it could be a chapel in a Christian church, but it obviously isn't. The walls are adorned with very strange symbols you do not recognize. And the chandelier in the ceiling has been crafted as well to look like the sun with rays coiling out of it, or at least you think it's the sun. It's a depiction of the sun you've never seen before. Could you all do a sanity check, please?
Yeah, and I have all the guns, so I'm gonna make it sanity.
Made it.
Okay.
Excuse me, technical question. I rolled a 33. How do I check?
You just need to get below your sanity rating.
Which is 50? It's my power rating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm 5 above, so I need
Oh.
to. I don't know. I'm below. I'm sorry. 33.
Okay, yeah, you're all right. And of course, Captain Trent.
Yeah, I fail.
we thought that may be the case. Now,
And I have no luck, so.
Oh dear. In that case, you're going to take maximum sanity damage from this particular encounter. Luckily, this isn't an utterly horrifying scene. You only have to take 4 sanity damage. Only.
Okay. I'm on 21. I go to.
You are utterly hypnotized by the symbols around you. You find yourself standing there just looking around. For at least a turn, your character is not able to act. That's all. And then I will allow you to roleplay how this is affecting your character. While all this is going on, the 3 of you are somewhat bewitched, 2 of you for less time than the other, by the odd decoration of this room. It appears that Rebecca Greentrees has dragged the young servant into the room with you, and the door has closed. I'm so glad you brought him here. Oh, Clive, how could this have happened to you again? Nevertheless, I'm so happy that all of you could come here to witness this. I need the two of you who are clearly not entranced by the wonder of this sign. I need you both to hold on to Clive, my brother, while I treat him. Because it may hurt. There may be some pain. Please believe me. I've been doing this for many years.
What kind of treatment is this?
I will make all this pain go away, my friend.
Ah, the best kind of treatment. I do hold him.
She didn't need much to convince you.
Like, now, doctor, are you sure? Like, what do you mean the best kind of treatment?
I'm curious as to how my colleague is going to help the patient.
As you are both conversing about it, she grabs the young serving male by the head, and with a strength you wouldn't have expected, pulls him down and puts her hand on the head of her brother. And that's
Whoa. I'm backing off the scene. This seems a little bit violent.
Do not interrupt. And then she starts chanting. Of course she does. Chant is a strong word. She starts producing strange sounds from her mouth you've never heard a human make before. Yes, Jack North. Before anyone has to make sanity rolls, Jack, you can do something.
So she's not paying direct attention to me. She's obviously very busy, right?
She's not.
I since it's just hanging around my chest, I undo the flash and just take a click.
Very good. We have a doctor without ethics. We have a photographer without ethics. The Captain Trent on his 21 sanity is the only person that can save us. So she chants and babbles and spews this nonsense out. Captain Trent, you shake yourself free. What are you going to do?
I'm just realizing what's going on. I see some chanting. I see some. Well, I don't know. I don't quite understand what I'm saying. I'm very confused with everything. I just grab one of the shotguns and sort of point at the general direction of what's happening, and I'm looking at my two partners, kind of like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Generous. Yeah, well, the shotgun is occasionally leveled at them because you are woozy, but yeah, you do point it, as you say, in the general direction of Clive Greentree's his sister, Rebecca, and the young servant.
I do try to take one of the guns and try to threaten her to stop because she's handing the stuff, which I promised will be safe.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? You're going to reach for one of my shotguns on my back?
Yes.
Or okay, so I sort of do this movement to let that go, and
Okay. It seems to be all going to Captain Trent's plan. As the doctor with no experience in how to use a shotgun, but it doesn't matter whether you've got experience or not. Being on the wrong end of a shotgun is quite a scary thing, no matter who's handling it. And what does Jack do?
Are the handguns obvious? The shotguns were obvious, but do you obviously have the extra handguns?
yeah, I have one on each pocket of my.
Yeah, they're pretty bulky, so I doubt he's got pockets big enough to completely conceal them.
I'll say, Captain, I'm taking control of one of your extra weapons. just communicating, since I've seen military communicate. That way he doesn't think I'm
he just goes for my weapon in my pocket. I know what's going on. I don't do anything. I let him.
Cool. And I also will aim at the weird siblings.
She lets go of Clive and the servant, both of whom fall to the floor. Clive was already on the floor, but the back of his head hits it, and the servant just crumples to the ground. She ignores the three of you and runs over to the servant now. And she shakes him and says, Clive, are you in there, Clive? What are the three of you doing?
I'm just watching speechless.
I'm aiming. I'm watching and aiming, and just waiting for anything. I just can't believe what's going on. I'm just aiming in case that anything weird or threatening to us happens.
And Jack?
This is way above me. I'm just pointing the gun in the general direction of her and the servant, and waiting for the captain, somebody to tell me what to do.
At which point, Clive, laying on the ground rather than the servant, speaks up. I'm still here. And she shouts out loudly and angrily, what? And she looks around at the room. The room didn't spin. The sun did not spin. And then she looks at the three of you with your guns. Did you see the room spin? Why did you see it spin? Did you see?
I see the room spin.
Did you see the magic? Did you see the magic? You didn't see the magic, did you? I couldn't feel the magic. Oh, Clive! Oh, Clive! What am I going to do?
I go to the lady and I slap her. Get your shit together.
Kind of an airplane scene.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a queue of a boxer, a nun. You knock the mask off of her face, and her eyes are completely yellow. The white and the pupil, they're both yellow, like she's jaundiced, and she seethes at you. You are laying your hands on one of the leaders of the Golden Generation, you doctor.
Lady, my lady, I think you are very ill. You must be suffering from some sort of fever. Your eyes are in terrible condition.
Someone else must have done. She's ignoring you again. Someone else must have used the incantation tonight.
I try to help this stuff.
Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I want some answers. What the hell is this? Well, I'm aiming. I don't know if I can use Intimidate or not, if they're going to be scared of me or not.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard roll, so give it a go.
Well, might as well. It's not even as hard as not eternal. So. 5! I got a 5.
Good job.
They're very scared of me, apparently.
She puts her hands up and says, I'm so sorry. I lost myself for a minute there. As you can see, my brother needs a great deal of help, and my treatment wasn't able to help him.
But your brother, but that's your servant there.
Yes, it is.
Your brother sit on the table, and he doesn't seem any better.
The woman is crazy. I try to help the staff.
The servant is coming too. He obviously hit his head when he hit the ground, but he is still himself.
I help him out.
You open the door and take him out, leaving it as just Captain Trent and Jack North still pointing their guns. You cannot possibly understand what has taken place here, but I can explain everything to you if you will help my brother. I just need someone to get him to a hospital. Clearly, that's what he needs. Clearly, we have been abandoned or betrayed.
Lady, I'm a doctor. I think your brother's wound is stabilizing. I think we should make sure that it's not infected, and your brother should be fine. There's a next wound. He's not going to leave us.
At which point Clive shouts out, "I need a hospital, you old quack!"
Okay.
If I can smell the wound up here, it's not something you can just stitch up on the skin. I need professional medical treatment. Why doesn't it work?
Okay. Out of character.
Yes.
This I don't know. This is I don't know if we're getting answers, we're getting justice. Like we have them right where we want them, if we want like to apply our justice, but I don't know, David.
I have pictures now of weird stuff going on. I don't know if that's enough to get them in trouble. It looks like the doctor's trying to trick the wounded man into believing that he's fine, which is a fun way to go.
Let's get him to speak about what happened. Let's get him to give us some explanations.
If you could just give me a minute, I think I've just heard my son in the other room, so I talk among yourselves briefly, and I will be back.
Very well.
No problem.
Anyway, yeah. It's like at this point, what are we trying to do at this point? Also, the ritual didn't went through, so someone else did the ritual. So there's more to it.
Well,
I'm thinking that someone who is dead is not really dead.
The bride used the ritual to jump into somebody. The bride used the ritual to jump into the lady in the kitchen's body and escaped.
That's what I was thinking too.
Whoa. That's a nice turn of event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get anything out of them. I think she was gonna kill me when I unmasked her.
Probably.
So, did I froze her? Hello?
No, you're still there. You're a little delayed.
Is my image frozen or
your image is frozen? We can hear you, but your image is frozen.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is happened during the break. So. Okay, now we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
So, like, even if you have evidences, yeah, it's like we have them where we want them. We can, I don't know. I'm not an advocate for just killing them all. So.
What do we want though? What do we know what we want? Do we want to find what happened to the girl?
We are completely confused here. So, in character, okay, I will take him to a hospital. I asked the doctor.
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
A bullet through guts. So anyway, sleep it off.
He has a wound. He has a...
Walk it off.
A gunshot wound. He's fine.
Are you sure, doctor?
Listen, I want to find out what happened to my good friend's daughter. Okay, I don't think you've been helping us at all. I think you've been wasting our time with the most peculiar and suspicious ways. Somebody needs to start talking or nobody goes to the hospital. Yeah.
Fine. Fine. Are you okay down there, Clive? Can I speak to the outsiders? Do what you've got to do. I practice a form of magic. I channel the light of the Lord, and it would help heal my brother. But it seems tonight that my magic has failed me. So that is why he needs to go to a hospital. As for Delia Harmon dying, that was nothing to do with us. Nothing. If anything, it was disruptive to our plans.
And
Is he also practicing magic,
Who?
Dillian?
Delia? Not that I know of. She was an outsider as well. I doubt it. She never showed any prestigiousness or belief, although it would certainly explain a few things.
why were you calling the servant? You were calling him your brother's name.
I was confused for a moment. That's all.
Hey, what's the check to sense lies?
We can do a roll on, I think it's psychology.
Oh,
Yes, he's obviously lying. Okay, we get it.
I didn't make it, but if somebody else has psychology.
I can roll. That's a 56. My psychology is 75.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely lying about something.
So I think that we should actually get this man to a hospital. I think him and his wife are practically crazy.
I'm his
And-
sister, not his wife.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I think they're both practically crazy, and they should definitely be hospitalized. For the time being, there's nothing else to get out of this room. This whole thing is very weird.
Yes, get myself and my brother to a hospital. I think that's what we need.
I can offer you a ride there.
I will go and hold the door and gesture for them to basically hold it so they can get him and her out of there.
Okay. The doctor leaves the room with Mr. and Mrs. Greentrees.
I'm expecting the other two to at least one of them to follow me.
Are you?
I'm literally standing there and looking at them.
is the sister and is going with the brother?
Yes.
So they are going out of the house.
Yeah, if the doctor gets them to a car. Seems his night is spent taxiing people to and from the house.
Are you sure we shouldn't call an ambulance?
If I judge by the speed of the police, the ambulance won't be effective.
Okay. I'll go with you, doctor. And I go to the photographer. You go ahead. I need to discuss something.
We
I'll
can
be
ask
right
the
with you.
staff. We can ask the staff to get them there. Actually,
Okay, I need to talk to them. Okay, we are in a situation where we cannot be here right now.
Where are you in? So, who are you trying to talk to? The other two protagonists.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay. Well, I can say Rebecca Greentrees is not going to be able to help her brother down the stairs by herself, and the other servant has left. So, by all means, the doctor can take them downstairs, leave them with a servant, and come back. But if you are planning on all talking up around the Red Room,
I just need to talk to to the photographer.
Okay, all right. So meanwhile, back in the altar room, as the doctor has to ferry Clive and Rebecca downstairs.
Okay.
Good luck.
I'm going to help the doctor take the patient to the hospital. If you can stay here and document everything you see.
Way ahead of you. And I start
Okay.
taking pictures of the altar room.
And anything else you can.
Anything else,
find
the
out.
weird chandelier and everything.
Okay. So I'm going to go help take the patient, to the hospital. Okay. See you back in a bit.
Okay.
As you two are escorting the two green trees through the main hall, Evans, the butler, stands in your way briefly. Ma'am, sir. He looks at the bullet wound. I had heard. Is there anything you need me to do? And she looks towards the stairs. Very good, ma'am. And Evans walks towards the stairs.
Excuse me,
Hospital.
excuse me, Mr. Butler. Do you have a way to assist your masters to get to the hospital? Can you drive them there?
No, I must stay on the property at all times.
Do you know any drivers? Anybody from the staff that can help?
He goes over to the bells in the hall and rings the one for the chauffeur. There'll be a chauffeur coming up, the house chauffeur. He'll be here very shortly. Mr. Greentrees, I'm terribly sorry about the wound, and I do hope you recover soon. I will keep the house in order for you, sirs, madam. And he goes back towards the stairs.
I follow him.
No, you're supposed to be getting us to the hospital.
The chauffeur will take them. Don't worry.
What's Captain Trent doing? Staying with the two green trees?
Yes, doctor, perhaps maybe you can help them, and I if I'm in a tight spot, I don't know.
Butler is disappearing up the stairs as you're negotiating this chicken, fox, grain farmer situation.
Just take him to the car, or see that they get to the car. You don't need to go all the way to the hospital. I'm gonna do something about this before it's too late. And I sort of, as discreetly as possible, try to get away and follow the butler.
Okay, all right. So, North, you are in the altar room.
Taking pictures of everything that's weird, which is everything.
Yep. Oh, everything is weird, and those stains on the altar, definitely blood. In the altar, as you're doing a good investigator, I'm not going to make you roll for this, as I'm assuming you're doing a good canvas of the room. You find all kinds of sheafs of paper. They look old, very much dated, almost prop-like in how stained they are and the calligraphy. It seems almost theatrical. But you take photos of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at that point that the door swings open and the butler, Mr. Evans, has stood there.
You're back again.
Mr.
Sir?
North.
Hmm?
He steps in and closes the door behind him. In a couple of turns, Captain Trent will be here as well, but not for a couple of turns. I say out of character. He doesn't say in a couple of turns in character. I'm afraid your time at this party has come to an end. And Mr. Evans pulls a knife.
And I pull a gun.
He still charges you.
And I shoot.
Okay. All right. I would like you to roll your handgun, please.
Right. Okay. I fail. And not by a small margin, so not using luck.
Yeah, as this is the 1920s, everything has to make a ricochet sound. Pew! as it knocks off of the door frame, and he lunges at you, running straight towards you with knife at chest height, clearly intending to push it into you. I would like you to make a. I think it's now. Now I'm going to need to get the rulebook. I think dodge is a skill still, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, dodge then. Unless you want to take it.
I do not want to take it, but
you flex your stomach muscles and say, "Argh!"
I break the knife on my abs. No,
Yeah.
no, I do not succeed in dodging.
Ooh.
So I don't know if he then needs to roll to hit, or I don't know how that works.
He does indeed. So I'm going to do that now. It should have been the other way around, but it's fine. I did it. He hits, I'm afraid to say.
Okay.
He jams the dagger into your ribs and deals you. Oof. Okay, that's quite a lot more than I was expecting. 7 points of damage as he cleaves open the flesh.
Okay.
Possibly hits. What? How many hit points did you have?
I had 12.
Okay, so he may well have perforated a lung.
Okay.
As he stabs inside you, and you don't think he's going to pull out and stab again, but it's all in a bit of a flash of motion. You get one other action, and then Captain Trent's going to turn up, and I'll start doing initiative properly.
Do I get a percentage bonus to shooting since it's at point blank?
Yeah, you are right next to him, but usually you would, however, you have just been stabbed.
I have.
So it is just going to be a standard roll.
Okay.
You can use your luck.
I am going to spend 20 luck.
Mm.
I'd only previously spent 5, so I'm okay. I'll spend 20 luck to get a baseline success with the gun.
The bullet goes in. If you could roll for me 1d8 and add a +1 for your damage.
I get a 3.
3. If you want, this isn't typical for damage rolls, I will allow you to push it.
Okay.
However, if you get less than a 3 on your pushed roll, it will misfire.
Okay, I'm going to push it.
Okay. I would suggest it's worth doing.
It was worth it. 5 on the die, +1, 6.
6 damage. Okay, nice. You point the gun up towards him as he's stabbing you, or as you say, at close range. Well, he couldn't be much closer than this, and so the muzzle is against him as you pull the trigger, and the bullet embeds itself somewhere in his chest. So both of you are bearing a rather nasty wound and bleeding on each other. Captain Trent, you hear the gunshot as you get to the door.
I enter, I see what's going on.
Okay, so what you can see is the back of the butler, Mr. Evans. He appears to be in a grapple with Jack North, but you can tell just from their positions that they're in deadly combat.
Yes, if I shoot, I might risk hitting my friend here, so I'm going to grab and wrestle the knife out of this wounded man. I suppose I will use roll, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He doesn't get to resist against this because you're essentially running at him from behind.
Okay.
He is already grabbed.
I roll at 3, and my roll is 80. So
well, you want his dice right now, David.
Right.
As the knife is dragged out of the wound, I'm going to roll to see what damage that does.
I did it really well, so
You did.
You take another 2 points of damage. That could have been a lot worse.
It could have.
Mm-hmm.
And
As with a pained scream, the dagger is pulled from between your ribs. You're fairly certain you hear it dragging across the bone as the captain holds the butler's arm back with the knife in hand.
Yeah, I'm going to try to just immobilize him completely. Just take the knife away and immobilize him completely.
Okay. I would like you to do one more brawl roll, please.
Sure.
Basically, if you botch on this, no, you don't get to immobilize him. But otherwise, you're already grappling him from behind, and one could assume that despite North's wound, he could still fire off another shot.
50. So.
Yep, out of 80. So yes, you grapple him to the ground, get the knife away from his hand. It doesn't stop him fighting back until you render him unconscious. If you render him unconscious, that's up to you. Meanwhile, out in the car park, the chauffeur arrives as you hear a gunshot from upstairs.
I'm completely losing my mind. I have two crazy people with me. The chauffeur is taking his time. I'm like, quickly, you have to get these people to the hospital.
He throws a cigarette away. Well, you're coming with us, Doctor. What if Clive passes out in the car? Neither of us know how to do anything about it. And that's when you hear the gunshot.
I have to check what's going on inside. Probably somebody needs me inside. Excuse me. Just get them to the hospital.
At you. I'm going to do a brawl roll. And you can do a dodge if you're just trying to run away from her.
I am trying to dodge him. I don't think that's going to help me. I rolled a 17, but I'm an old man.
You can use your luck. Everyone else is.
My dodge is half my dexterity, great, which is 30.
Ooh,
that's 15.
You only need to your luck, you'll be fine.
I just used 2 of my luck then. Okay, let me subtract it. 2 escape. That was okay.
Okay. You managed to drag your arm free from Ms. Greentree's grasp as you run back towards the house. And you run towards the stairs, I assume.
Yes.
As you're doing so, you hear Rebecca Greentree's voice back in the hall calling out, "Servants, Golden Generation, the outsiders are trying to ruin our way of life. They're on the 3rd floor, in the Red Room."
I stand on top of the staircase. I shout to Captain Trent to come help immediately, and I point the shotgun to the bottom of the stairs, and I'm saying, "You people are crazy. If anybody gets close, I'm blowing your head up."
Okay, and Captain Trent, back in the altar room, you hear the shout from the doctor for help, but of course in front of you, you have Jack North bleeding heavily from the chest, and restrained you have the butler who has shown himself to be homicidal. What are you going to do, Captain Trent?
I can knock him unconscious, you said?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you've got a shotgun. You could stove in the back of his head, probably. It takes a long time. It actually takes a long time, of course, to make someone pass out from choking them or covering their mouth and nose. So he
has a gunshot wound and no longer has a knife. So I guess I just leave him there.
Help the doctor. I've got some basic first aid knowledge. I'll stop the bleeding for a bit. Help the doctor.
If he moves, you shoot him.
Gladly. Maybe even if he doesn't move. Go help the doctor.
Okay. And I just sling my shotgun and I go help the doctor.
Okay, that leaves North and the butler. North, what are you doing?
I'm ripping up some of my shirt and going to do a first aid check to just kind of press against the wound, stop bleeding.
Do a photo. Do you have photography as a skill, don't you?
Yeah.
So do a photography roll, please.
Okay. I passed by 3.
Okay, well, I'm basically treating that as a form of luck roll, that your camera wasn't damaged in this grapple.
Good.
So you succeeded.
It's what matters.
Yes, the evidence is still in place.
But can I do first aid to stop the bleeding, or like
you
slow
can.
the
It's
bleeding?
a hard roll, though, to do first aid on your own chest.
That's fair. I'll try. I've got a little bit of luck left, so we'll see. Okay, how much do you have to succeed on hard?
Half.
Half. Okay. So I spend 6 more luck, I believe, putting me down to 14 luck. And that puts me at half.
Okay. Your luck is running out, just like friends. You are able to stop the bleeding, but from how you're breathing right now, you think you have had your lung nicked at the very least. You're going to need to get to a hospital soon before your lung fills up with fluid.
And I just sit down and kind of weakly point the gun at the unconscious man.
As you do so, you're noticing that all this blood that's been shed in this room. Do a sanity roll.
I fail.
Seems to be creeping and crawling and slithering its way toward the altar. You don't know whether you're passing out and you're imagining it. No, you're definitely not imagining it. This is actually happening. The blood is moving as if downhill towards the altar, but this floor, as far as you can tell, is perfectly flat. And anyway, even if it was downhill, the blood shouldn't be snaking its way now up the altar. So as that's happening, roll 1d6, please, for sanity loss. You will lose an automatic 1.
Okay. Is it 1 plus what I roll?
Yep.
Okay, so I roll a 5, so I lose 6.
You do indeed.
Okay.
So, on the staircase now, the doctor is holding off. There's about half a dozen, so about 6 servants and 2 guests who are poised at the bottom of the stairs. Some of the servants have edged their way up a little, and then Captain Trent turns up with his guns as well.
I aim at them too, and I say, yes. Try to scare them. Are you ready to lose your lives over these idiots? Kind of like, really? You're gonna get yourself killed? And I try to scare them. I guess try to use intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's going to be a hard intimidate roll. You're basically
It's gonna be a hard.
Yes, you're trying to intimidate cultists.
Yes, they are cultists. So 39. My intimidation is 60. I have 4 luck, but it's not enough. It's not enough. No.
Okay,
it's not enough.
You can push it and try and roll again.
Don't.
Or I can just kill it.
You could push it and roll again. Or you can allow doctors to try and intimidate.
Yeah, and if that fails, we just kill them.
It's the foam all over.
I gave them a warning.
Yeah.
If they're still there, fine. Let's see how much they do not fear the blast of a shot.
Yes, I think we should start shooting.
You're just going to start shooting. You're not even going to intimidate the servant that's closest to you climbing up the stairs. You're just going to let him have it with a barrel.
Okay, I can try to intimidate them.
Well, you can do whatever you like.
I'm gonna try to intimidate them first. This is going to be my last attempt to reason with them. I think
Throw
I'm
in
a.
intimidation.
I
Don't
think
let
I'm a-
Matthew's judgment of your actions change your actions. Okay.
Exactly. So I rolled a 75.
Oh,
There's no way I'm this intimidating. So yeah, I just I was
well,
gonna shoot.
that means I get a turn.
Mhm.
You both rolled, you both failed. One of the guests, shouts out to the servants. They only have 4 shells in those shotguns. They can't take you all out. Serve your masters. At which point, a bunch of the servants run up at you. Are you letting loose with your firepower?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll let the doctor roll first then, please, on his shotgun.
Between the eyes. That's a 9.
Oh, okay. So it's not so much between the eyes as off goes his
Close.
head. You are shooting him at very close range with a double-barreled shotgun. I assume you're only using one barrel.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit excessive otherwise. Yeah, you don't need to roll damage. The servant's head evaporates, and he concertinas his way onto the just and collapses. Captain Trent, are you taking this as your cue?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's roll. 14, and my skill is 80.
On shotgun.
On shotguns is 70. Handguns is 80. 70.
Okay. Blam! You take one out by the chest. He goes flying into another couple of waiters behind him. This is not how you anticipated this party going.
Okay.
They keep charging up towards you. You letting loose with the other barrel.
Well, I am.
Me
Yeah.
too. We have the high ground.
Okay, Doctor. Yeah, you do, and you also have the weapons. After all, the servants aren't allowed weapons. Well, not firearms, anyway.
Okay, so I rolled a 58.
Okay, out of...
So I'm not really sure what's the firearms. That's 25.
Yeah, if you put nothing in it, I think firearms is a 25 by default. It basically implies anyone can pull a trigger.
Yeah, I failed. I missed.
You're going to use your luck?
No.
Nearing the end of the scenario.
No, I won't.
Okay, you miss. In all the excitement, the shotgun kicks up in your hands, and you it takes out some of the ornaments on the far wall. Captain, make this one count.
Okay. I have other 6 shots of 38, but
Oh yeah. Draw the pistol.
14 again.
14 again. Okay, yeah, you take out another servant. This is all happening, of course, in a matter of seconds, so it isn't really giving the servants enough time to pause and think, hang on, we're all falling right now. And you're not sure whether it would make a difference anyway. But your shotguns are now empty. And that means the staircase, not being that tall, is quickly becoming crowded with these almost suicidal, you suspect, well, maybe they are cultists, running up to you and attempting to tackle you. Meanwhile, Jack North, back in the altar room.
So I just failed a sanity check, and I just saw an altar eat blood. And I came here in the hopes of getting more power, and I'm in a pretty bad way, and apparently this lady's power can heal. So I'm going to get on the other side of the unconscious man, so he's between me and the altar, and I'm going to shoot him in the head.
Seems a reasonable experiment. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, in my no occult knowledge way, I am sacrificing this man to this altar.
Yeah. Yeah. How much luck did you have left?
I've got 14.
If you're prepared to spend all of that luck right now, something will happen.
I burn it.
I didn't say that it was something good.
That's fine.
The bullet enters the butler's head, and he doesn't even notice that you were aiming at him. He was still half conscious on the floor, and so bang, he's gone. He's dead. Then the blood oozes out rapidly, pooling towards you, not the altar, coming towards you. And it's snaking now up your shoes, up your trouser legs, onto your skin. This butler's brain matter is leaking out and coating you. Do a sanity roll, please.
I fail again.
All right, this one's a 2d6, and you're going to lose an automatic 3.
Okay. 5 plus 3. I lose 8.
Oh, that could have been a lot worse, but it's still pretty damn bad. So in your insane state, because you are going mad as this is happening, how do you react to this? You tell me.
So since my mind was thinking I'm going to somehow, in my completely ignorant of how the occult works way, make an offering to this altar in the hopes that I'm healed, I'm going to open the bottom of the Band-Aid in the hope this is some sort of healing magic I've unlocked.
That's a nice idea. As the blood coats you and makes its way through the nicely made accessible cavity in your chest, and it does funnel in like it's going down a drain pipe. You were never aware that your heart could actually feel. You know, you've never had anything prick your heart before, scratch your heart before, but now you feel like your heart is being constricted. It's like it's being prevented from beating as this blood coats it, soaks into it as if it's a sponge, changes it. I'm going to make a roll to see whether there is anything positive out of this sacrifice that you have made without any incantations, any knowledge of the occult. Got to be honest, I'm going to have to make a very good roll for this to do anything other than just murder you.
That is fair.
Okay. All right, well, that's a little more fun anyway. Before your very eyes, the wound in your chest heals up. You are completely coated in the butler's blood. It is inside your body. And you feel stronger. Lose 20 sanity.
Okay.
And gain 20, I guess, strength.
Okay.
You
do
are,
I gain any HP?
no.
Okay.
No, you still, for intents and purposes, your body is still traumatized.
Okay.
Hit points are not recovered. You can hear the sound of what at first you think is the sea in your ears, the whoosh of waves crashing against the shore. But then you realize it's the flow of blood just around your body. You feel in tune with it. You feel like it's you know your body far better than you ever did before. You can sense every cell, every microbe, every little microorganism scuttling between your hairs and making its way through your blood vessels. You can sense all of it right now. And it brings you greater joy than anything else you have ever experienced. So, back on the stairwell. Captain, you can drop the shotgun and pull your revolver out within a turn. I have no issue with that. Doctor, you don't have a revolver, do you?
I will try to bash somebody's head with the back of the shotgun.
Yep, the butt of the gun, okay. Well, the stock, I should say. All right, then. So you two are both going to have to make, again, hard firearms for Captain Trent to get a shot off before you are swamped, and a hard brawl roll for the Doctor.
Okay, fair enough.
There are more people running up these stairs than you can handle.
With handguns, I have 80, so I would need a 40.
Yep.
19.
Okay. Your dice are behaving very nicely tonight.
At least it's shooting nice, not the sanity ones.
No. Your bullet goes into a maid who was charging up the stairs. She twists in the air and crumples down. Doctor, what did you get?
I rolled a 75 and I fail.
Yeah. Push it.
I think I'll push it, yeah.
Okay, that means you get a second roll. You cannot use your luck on your second roll.
Okay.
Still a hard roll.
It's a 76. Oh, nice.
As you try and jam the shotgun stock into the head of someone who is running up towards you, they grab it and pull it out of your hands. Well, they try to pull it out of your hands. If you'd just failed, maybe that's what they would have done. As you have catastrophically failed, a part of you just doesn't want to let go of the gun. And so as they pull it, you go down the stairs with it. I'm going to allow you to roll a dexterity roll. And if you fail your dexterity roll, you are going to go tumbling into the mass of cultists. And yeah, if you succeed the roll, you fall down the stairs, but you're not necessarily doomed.
Okay, let's see. 66. I have 30. It's not good.
No. Do you have 36 luck you can spend?
I only have 28 left.
Oh no. Do you want to push it? Because if you fail...
Well, let's push it.
Okay. I like a
65. 65 above.
Good God.
It wants to kill me.
Yeah, unfortunately it does. You are pulled down by one of the servants and you go tumbling head over heels down the stairs into the mass of guests of the Golden Generation who are basically all stood around you and all brandishing knives at this point. You are laying on the floor as they... Captain Trent, you see this happen. And excuse the Deus Ex Machina, if you like. This isn't necessarily going to save you. The great cacophony that's been going on has called the attention of someone else on the first floor. Colonel Judge Harmon has been taking all this time since the gun started firing to stagger out of the library with the revolver and reach the top of the stairs. I'm gonna go down swinging, he says. Because I wanted to fire a gun too. So, Trent, you've seen what's happened. Harmon has just joined you for this last stand at the Alamo. Dr. Vanderberg has fallen into a mass of homicidal maniacs. What's Trent going to do? You've got your revolver, you could fire off a shot, but
There were half a dozen first, but now how many are they?
so you've successfully killed, I think, 4 at this point. So
Yeah.
on the stairs, you've only got two of them. At the bottom of the stairs, there's another 10 or so. That about 5 of them are clustered around the doctor. 5 of them look like they're going to be making their way up the stairs. One of them is Rebecca Greentrees.
Hmm.
You could maybe make a single shot that could mean everything.
Okay. She's any harder to hit than any of the others?
No, it will be actually, yes, it would be a hard roll because she is at the back of the pack and there's quite a few people in her way and there's a lot of movement.
Okay,
You
so
need to roll a 40 or less. How hard could that be?
I'll
Load-bearing
take
bonus.
the shot. I'll take the shot. It's gonna be 40, and I can use my luck, right?
I'm gonna give you another. You've run out of luck, haven't you? Well, you've got a little bit of luck.
Well, I have 4 luck anyway.
Yeah, you could use 4 luck. Okay, so if you could roll your intelligence first. This is for something because I don't think no is a skill in something.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my intelligence. Failed.
Fail. Do you want to push it? This will be for a hint.
Okay, I will push it.
Okay.
22, I pass with honors. I pass.
There's a
It's 16
chandelier.
total.
There's several chandeliers in this hall over the bottom of the stairs. If you could take the chandelier out, you could take out everyone underneath it. That would also be a hard handgun roll. So you've got a choice.
Including the doctor. It's gonna take everything, including the doctor.
Yes. Well, or at least the people standing up around him. That'd slow it down. So yeah, you could make a hard roll to hit Rebecca Greentrees, or you could do a hard roll to hit the chandelier.
And it would basically fall on all the people.
At the bottom of the stairs, yes. Wouldn't necessarily kill them, whereas a shot to Rebecca Greentrees probably would kill one person.
Okay. Let's be cinematic.
Yeah.
And go for the chandelier.
Okay.
This could be fun. So, all right. I can use my luck, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm out of luck and I just made it.
By how much?
By exactly.
Oh. Okay. You are pointing your handgun, your revolver, at the crowd, and then you're pointing it at Rebecca Greentrees. She looks up at you, and then you move your revolver up. You point it toward the chandelier, and you can't take the time to aim. There's people running up these stairs. Dr. Vanderberg is about to be hacked to pieces. So you say a very quick prayer internally and fire your weapon. With a ping, you sever the chain that was holding the chandelier onto the ceiling. There's no dramatic spin as it uncoils and smashes. You just severed the thing. So as you fire, before you even notice that it's happened, the chandelier just goes onto the heads of a whole slew of people at the bottom of the stairs. Dr. Vanderberg, how much luck do you have?
28.
Roll your luck to see whether you are not hit by this.
Okay.
You need to roll lower than 28.
Lower than 28. Okay, let me try.
Obviously, you can't spend your luck on a luck roll.
39. I failed.
You are looking up, looking at daggers about to come down into your face, your throat, your body, and then it's like Jack North's camera adjusting focus as the cultists in the foreground become blurry, and instead you focus on the chandelier. That smashes down on you. It smashes down on everyone else as well, so the damage is spread. Could you roll 1d6, please?
Yes, of course. 6.
Okay, you take 6 damage.
That's not too bad.
No, it could have been a lot worse. A lot worse for everyone else.
Only 2 HP left.
Okay, maybe not that bad then. Not that good, rather. So, from your vantage point at the top of the stairs, Captain Trent, as the only, well, not the only one left standing so much as the only one left whole, maybe, you can see that Rebecca Greentrees was hit by the chandelier and is currently crawling out from underneath it. A load of the other guests have taken this as their cue to just leave the building, and the servants have lost their confidence as well. Something as dramatic as a chandelier falling after all this gunfire, it makes people stop for a second and think, okay, we need to get out. And so you find the hall rapidly losing its players, including the guests that were about to carve up Dr. Vanberg, some of whom have been completely caught up in the chandelier's spokes. Some are definitely dead. Dr. Vanberg, you have about 3 knives on the floor around you. Each of them could have been in you in just a couple of seconds. Jack North, up in the altar room.
Well, my wounds closed up and I'm feeling just fine. So I'm gonna go see what all the commotion is downstairs.
Not feeling that fine, Jack North. Feeling like this made you feel so damn strong you'd love to find out what it's like to kill someone else up here. Maybe take a bit more life force in you, in your body.
Fair. There's nobody else up here.
Nope.
So I will do my original action, but with a different intent. So there's definitely people outside, so I'll start heading down the stairs.
Okay. You trudge your way down the stairs where, from your vantage, you see the backs of Captain Trent and the leaning on the banister, Judge Harmon.
They're both focusing on the chaos down below, whatever the heck that is.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to run up. I'm clearly covered in gore and blood. I'm going to run up to the judge and be like, come quick. I need your help in the altar.
In all this melee, Captain, could you roll listen? A hard listen roll, please.
Okay. Listen. Yeah, first let me find this. It would be a 10. Oh, damn.
You roll a 10. Oh, you need
No, it wouldn't. I need to roll a 10.
Yeah.
And I fail completely.
Okay. You do not hear. Maybe it's the gunfire left ringing in your ears would be pretty natural. You don't hear the quiet voice of Jack North ushering Judge Harmon up the stairs with him. And when you turn to look, Judge Harmon is no longer there. Captain, what are you doing? At this point, you can see Vanderberg bleeding but apparently alive underneath the chandelier. Judge Harmon has disappeared. You don't know where Jack North is, presumably still upstairs bleeding himself.
Well, not between knowing and not knowing, I know there's someone that needs my help downstairs. And also, everyone else is just leaving us left.
There's lots of people who ran away now. There's lots of bodies at the bottom of the stairs. Some are crying out, some are groaning. Rebecca Greentrees, for instance, is moaning and trying to crawl away down the hall.
Yeah, fuck her. I'm gonna help the doctor. And is he wounded too badly?
He's pretty damn wounded. It looks like his body took a hell of a beating from the chandelier landing on it. You can hear his breathing is labored.
Yeah. I don't know if I can save anyone, but I'm gonna try to save one. And I guess I'll just take him to the car.
You pick up Dr. Vanderberg and you carry him out, stepping over Rebecca Greentrees.
Can I speak? Can I speak that? Can I say?
Yeah, you can speak.
We need to kill this bitch. We need to kill this bitch.
I sighed, and after all I've seen, I just like I don't feel well about this at all, and I hope no one tells what I'm about to do. But I just aim at the helpless woman down there and pull the trigger.
She did try and kill all of you, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dead.
Okay.
The blood that exits her body, though, is yellow.
The body is now turned completely yellow.
The blood is yellow. Could you Yes, could you do a sanity roll, please, Captain Trent?
Okay.
Chaos is one thing. You've served in war before, but you've never blown someone's head off only for thick yellow.
Amazingly enough, 13. So
okay.
Like at this point, yellow blood. Just after everything we've been through. Wow.
You still lose one sanity.
Okay.
You carry Vanderberg out to your car, and you're driving off to the hospital. And that is where we will probably wrap up our session. In terms of epilogues, the ones I can narrate are, and then I will pass it over to you, that Captain Trent is able to get Vanderberg to a hospital in time and stabilize him. Vanderberg survives these wounds, unless Captain Trent intends to throw him out of the car halfway along because he's just completely lost his mind. However, it's unlikely that you ever hear from Judge Harmon again. As Jack North, you take Judge Harmon, drunk as he is, all the way up to the altar room, easily led. He's maybe thinking there'll be someone to shoot up there. But even as he realizes something's horribly wrong, he's too slow, too old, too drunk to do anything about what you're about to do to him. So, epilogue starting with Jack North. What do you think's going to happen?
I kill the judge and offer him to the altar because it worked the last time.
Yeah, I'm going to make a roll.
What roll do you want?
I'm going to make a roll. I mean, it was pretty fucking flimsy last time that you managed to get this to work, but I rolled spectacularly for it to happen, and I haven't this time. So, to your great disappointment, nothing happens except he dies. You let out a scream of defiance against the stars.
I am keeping all of the photos I took, but this time instead of handing them over, I make the rest of my life's quest to find more power using the knowledge I gained tonight.
When do you leave the house?
Can I hear lots of people exiting? You said the guests are like,
yes. It's like you shake your head and you're brought back to reality.
Okay. I rip off some shirt off the butler and wipe his own gore off of like my face and hands, and I make my way to my car and exit.
Okay, and what about Captain Trent then? What do you think he would do after this?
Has he been paid before? Or because I think it's gonna be pretty broke.
I think he got half pay up front, and he was going to get the other half if it all went well.
Well, it didn't.
No, and let's be honest, Judge Harmon isn't in a position to be writing checks right now.
No. So I guess he uses that money to just go back to Cromwell and just try to forget everything is on. Not to lose his mind.
Leaving Vanderberg in the hospital to recuperate. Vanderberg, as you're in the hospital, recovering, someone is wheeled into your ward, into the bed next to you. And it's Clive Greentrees, who's been brought to the same hospital. Vanderberg, what's your epilogue?
So I'm very annoyed by Clive, but I try to relax, and at the end of the day, and as the light is being dimmed, I reach for my bag, and I find the book, and it piques my curiosity. So I think I'm gonna start reading the book.
So, yeah, it's very uncommon for Call of Cthulhu session to end with two players becoming cultists, basically. But that is basically what happens. I was expecting you to murder Greentrees, but that's fine as well. You may well do that in the following day. So that is where our tale concludes. Thank you very much, all three of you, for playing. Thank you to Nicholas for playing in the first session as well. Out of character now. How are all three of you? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Who was Rose? Who was Rose?
Any theories from the rest of the players?
So Rose, my theory, was actually the bride who performed the ritual earlier to jump her soul into a random servant so she could escape unnoticed.
Yep. Well, Mark, you're muted.
Still muted, man.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
When you were when you went to check on your son when we were having a conversation, yes, we got to the conclusion that that's probably what happened. That she transferred herself or something, faked her own murder, transferred herself to the cooking maid, and escaped. And then all the chaos that she wanted to provoke actually ensued.
Yep. That is almost exactly how it went down, yeah.
Whoa.
Delia Harmon had absolutely no desire to join the Golden Generation, and but wasn't a nice person despite that. And she befriended one of the maids during one of the many rituals that the cult performed, enough to gain her trust so that she would join her out in the woods. And it was there that she performed the ritual or the spell. And while the maid was still dizzy and confused about what had just happened, she then beat her to death with a rock. So Delia Harmon then returned to the house, planned to wait out the entire event. She would have just stayed there in the background. But then a very friendly doctor offered to drive her off of the scene, which was even better. So the reason Rose, the maid, was asking so much after Judge Harmon is because about the only person Delia Harmon does care about is her dad. And she's obviously very upset that she's had to leave her father thinking that his daughter's dead. But at the same time, in her mind, it's a small sacrifice to pay to not be married into that cult of maniacs. There was various blackmail and things like that going on in the background that led to her kind of being forced into this marriage. It wasn't a marriage she wanted, but she didn't see any way out other than to fake her own death. And the best way for her to fake her own death was to actually make her death a reality and just move to another body. So by no means did you fail, because there isn't a failure condition. But you guessed quite correctly that she had body swapped and got the hell out of Dodge because you helped her. And that left you with all the mess afterwards. And you didn't do too badly out of it. You didn't die.
Yeah, just some turn into cultist.
Yeah.
I go almost insane.
But I think you are clinically insane now at this point.
Yeah.
At that point of sanity.
I think I was before, but I'm even worse now.
I think you will be staying the remainder of your days in a small cottage in Cornwall, very rarely going out to see anyone else.
It's a big house. It's from my family, but I'm gonna be the creepy guy on the big ancient house on a creepy road on Cromwell.
And if I was a real bastard, I would say, and then just as you're settling into your house and thinking you put the nightmare behind you, a disgruntled head of security turns up asking for the rest of his money for his gun and beats you to death. But I think it's far more likely, given he's based in America, he'd go after Dr. Vanderberg and find out what he's meddling with when Vanderberg is now schooling himself on magic. So any questions from you three?
What happened to the groom? I think Sebastian is
he killed himself. Cool.
Yeah. The Green Trees made it quite clear that as he had failed in his task to get Delia Harmon and her father's money, he had let down the cult and they would do some very horrible things to him. So they gave him the option of the gentleman's way out, and he decided to take it after drinking enough port to convince himself.
What is the name of the campaign, of the story?
It's called Last Night of Freedom.
Okay, so we ended up the three of us becoming sort of cultists in the end.
Yeah, I guess.
One because
for you three, it was the Last Night of Freedom, or yes, Free Will as well. But yeah, appropriate title. All right then. Okay, well in that case, I will need to start planning what I'm running for you next. And we may even have another player who's backing at this level to join in with you if a 4-player game will work. So I'll give that some thought, or whether I need to divide you into 2 groups. And if anyone watching wants to get in on this, my Patreon is in the description below. I hope you really enjoyed watching this, because I certainly enjoyed running it, and these guys seem to enjoy playing it. And thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you to the players for playing, and I will see you next time.